The average funeral in Arizona costs between $8,000 and $15,000. In Mesa, in Gilbert, anywhere in the East Valley, $12,000 is a typical bill. Most families don't have that just sitting in their checking account. Most people don't find out it costs this much until the week somebody dies. I'm Andy Childs. I'm a licensed insurance broker here in Mesa, Arizona. I've been doing this for the last 7 years. And one of the most common conversations I have isn't about Medicare. It's about a senior who realizes they don't want their kids holding a GoFundMe to bury them. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through what burial insurance actually is, what it costs by age right here in Arizona, when it makes sense, and the one mistake almost every Arizona snowbird makes. Whether this is for you or for a parent, this is the foundation. Most videos on this topic start with fear. They show you a sad music montage, talk about funeral costs going up, and tell you to buy something. Usually it's whatever they sell. I'm not going to do that. Burial insurance is a product I sell, and I want to be honest about it. Burial insurance is not the right answer for everyone. If you have plenty of liquid savings, term life that doesn't expire before age 85, or family that will simply absorb the cost, you may not need this. But if you don't, or if your parent doesn't, this is one of the cheapest financial moves a person can make to spare their family a very hard week. So this video isn't a pitch. This is decision. It's a decision framework. You'll know by the end whether you actually need this, and if you do, exactly what to look for. Let me give you a sense of how this lands in real life. Picture this. Your mom is 76. She is in East Mesa in good health, considering her age, and she passes unexpectedly. You and your siblings drive to the funeral home Tuesday morning. The funeral director hands you a sheet. Casket package, $5,500. Cemetery plot in Maricopa County, $3,500. Headstone, $2,000. Service, transport, embalming paperwork, another $2,000. You're at $13,000 before flowers and a meal for the family. And your mom's checking account has $600 in it. Her Social Security stopped the day she died. Her life insurance through work ended when she retired 11 years ago. She had a small policy through AARP that pays out $4,500, but it won't show up in your account for 6 to 8 weeks. You sit in a parking lot with your siblings and try to figure out what can cover it. That's not a movie scene. That's a Tuesday morning in Mesa every week of the year. That's what burial insurance is built for. And let me show you how it works. Burial insurance is not a special category. It's a small whole life insurance policy designed to do one thing well: cover funeral, cremation, and cemetery costs at the end of someone's life. Coverage runs from about $5,000 to $25,000. The premium is fixed. It doesn't go up as you age. The death benefit does not shrink. And as long as you keep paying the monthly premium, the policy does not expire, which is the key difference between burial insurance and term life. Most burial insurance policies fall under 2 underwriting categories. Simplified issue, that's a policy that you ask you about 10 medical questions, there's no exam, and decisions within a few days, usually lower premiums. Guaranteed issue policies ask no medical questions, they accept almost everyone, but they cost more and usually have a 2-year waiting period where the death benefit is limited. The beneficiary, that's whoever you name to receive the money, gets a check, usually within 7 to 10 business days of submitting a death certificate. They use it however they want. There's no rule that says it has to go to a funeral home. Most families use most of it for funeral costs, and any remainder helps with the dozen of other expenses that crop up. Final medical bills, cleaning out an apartment, flying family in, settling at the estate. So that's the structure. Small whole life, fixed premium, death benefit pays out fast. Used for whatever the family needs in the first weeks after death. Here's how to picture it. A small whole life policy, $5,000 to $25,000 in coverage, pays out to whoever the policyholder names. Funeral costs, cemetery, cremation, and whatever else lands on the family in the first few weeks, medical bills, travel, anything. Not a savings account, not investment, just a fast check to keep the family out of crisis mode. So what does this actually cost right now in Arizona by age? I'm going to give you ranges for $10,000 policy, non-tobacco, and a healthy applicant. These are real ranges from the carriers I write with, not internet averages. So at age 55, you're looking at roughly $25 to $40 a month for a $10,000 policy. At 65, that same policy is $40 to $65 a month. At 75, it climbs to $75 to $120. At 80, it's $110 to $170. A few patterns worth knowing. First, the earlier you lock it in, the more you save over the life of the policy. A 55-year-old who locks in $30 a month and lives to 80 will have paid about $9,000 in premium for a $10,000 death benefit. That same person waiting until 70 to buy will roughly pay $17,000 over the same span. So lock it in young and you'll save in total. Second, tobacco roughly doubles the premium at every age. Carriers don't care about social use, but if you've smoked regularly in the past 12 months, expect the higher rate. Third, if you've been turned down for life insurance in the past, that's not the end of the conversation. Guaranteed issue policies exist specifically for people with serious medical history. They cost more and have a waiting period, but they accept almost everyone. So don't assume you can't qualify. If you're an adult child and you're researching this for a parent, you can be the one paying the premium. The parent has to sign the application and answer the health questions, but you can be the policyholder for premium purposes and the beneficiary on the back end. Here's how the price ladder works in Arizona as of 2026. 55, about $30 a month. 65, about $50. 75, close to 100. 80, 140, and climbing. Tobacco roughly doubles every line on that chart. Lock it in young if you're going to lock it in at all. That's the way to do it. If you're an Arizona Snowbird, and we have a lot of them, there's an issue with burial insurance that almost everybody gets wrong. Roughly 600,000 people split time between Arizona and another state. Folks who winter here from Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, the Dakotas, or the Pacific Northwest, most of them want to be buried back home in a family plot next to a spouse, somewhere a generation of kids already lives. But here's the issue. If you die in Arizona and need to be transported back to your home state, that's called repatriation. It's expensive. $2,000 to $5,000 extra for grand transport. More if it's a flight. That cost is not part of the funeral home's estimate. That's a separate bill, and it usually has to be paid before the body is released. A burial insurance policy that's only sized for funeral costs, say $8,000, won't cover the transportation. The family ends up paying that out of pocket in cash, often within 48 hours. The fix is straightforward. If you split time between Arizona and another state, build your coverage within the transport cost baked in. Most snowbirds I help size their policy at $12,000 to $15,000 instead of $8,000, with the extra explicitly covering the repatriation. The premium difference is small, usually $10 to $15 a month more, and it spares the family a financial scramble. There's a second snowbird issue. Burial insurance pays out regardless of where the death happens. Arizona, Wisconsin, on a road trip, anywhere. That's true of every burial insurance policy. The mistake isn't the policy, it's the coverage amount. Size for the trip home. Here's the math for Arizona snowbirds. Funeral costs $8,000 to $15,000, plus the repatriation $2,000 to $5,000 to ship remains back home. That is going to be your policy size, $12,000 to $20,000 of coverage. Most snowbirds end up buying too small, so make sure you are not one of them. Here's a recap. 3 things. 1, burial insurance is a small whole life policy, $5,000 to $25,000 in coverage, fixed premium, pays out fast. used by the family for whatever the first weeks throw at them. Second, in Arizona, premiums start around $25 to $40 a month at age 55 and roughly double every decade. Lock it in young if you're going to lock it in at all. And third, if you're an Arizona Snowbird, size your policy to include the repatriation, $12,000 to $15,000 instead of $8,000. The extra $10 a month is worth what it spares the family. The framework: figure out who actually has to pay the bill if you die next month. If the answer that is honest is, I don't know, that's the signal to look at a burial insurance. If the honest answer is, I've got it covered, you don't need this. If you want a no obligation quote for yourself or for a parent, there's a link in the description. I'm an independent broker. I shop multiple A-rated carriers, and there's no fee for my time. The carriers pay me directly when a policy is placed. And subscribe to the channel. There's new videos every Tuesday and Friday, mostly about Medicare with bonus topics like this one when they're in seasonal or in demand. If this video helped, that's the best signal you can to send back.